What song changed your whole taste in music? Enjoy the Silence Depeche Mode. Linkin Park One Step Closer was into rap. This got me into rock alternative. Comfortably Numb Pink Floyd. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, a long intro and slow build with a blazing end. Took me to take a deeper look at Floyd's earlier work. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Sober Tool. Green Day Basket Case. Chopin's Nocturne Op. 9 No. 2 went from an EDM funk lover to classical romantical. Ghost Love Score Nightwish. As cliche as it may seem, Metallica's one. Dragula, We're Not Gonna Take It. Don't Stop Me Now, Crazy Train. What's a non-horror movie that traumatized you as a kid? Bridge to Terabithia. The Brave Little Toaster. Ferngully The Last Rainforest. That evil tree scared me so bad. The Land Before Time. Watching Littlefoot's mother die was awful. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Large Marge scared the crap out of little me. I was even scared of the fortune teller. Neverending Story. Not even Artax, which was awful, but the Rockbiter and his good strong hands. My Girl. Fear of death, fear of losing a friend, fear of bees, fear of puberty. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory boat scene. Honorable mention of claustrophobia when Augustus gets stuck in the chocolate tube. UGH. For those who have careers that keep them out at sea for long periods of time, what is the creepiest thing you've seen out in the water? Mething that you see a lot when you're in the ocean is kayaks and life jackets floating around, and you always radio them in, but they always just fell off a yacht or something. And it's never a big deal. Once we found a kayak floating, and it had a fishing rod in the rod holder, which basically meant someone was using it. Have you ever gotten up and quit your job in the middle of a work shift? If so, why? Day 2 owner tells me that he pays taxes for us, so he pays cash and it is after taxes. So 7.5 and not the 10 hours we agreed to. I walked out and called the IRS hotline to report fraud. Dishwasher. Had worked there 2 weeks. The AC for kitchen and office both broke the day before I started. Office AC was fixed the following day. Kitchen AC wasn't priority. It was a heat wave in August, hitting 115 outside. The whole kitchen staff walked out. If you could call yourself 5 years ago and had 30 seconds, what would you say? Alright, listen up you little shit. In 5 years, you will have 30 seconds to call yourself from 5 years ago. Think of something better than I did. Don't drive home. Stay where you are. The tacos aren't worth jail time. No license and $10,000 in fees fines. Most expensive tacos ever. Hey, just checking in, dude. We're doing the same thing as 5 years ago. Kat says hi. Alright, see ya later. Buy crypto and sell it before November 2021. Peace. There's no time to explain. 2020-2022 will be the pandemic years. Buy shares for Pfizer, J&J. And something called Zoom. Ignore Skype. Older Redditors, what are some things that you never thought would happen in your lifetime, but did? Having a device that fits into the palm of my hand that I can use to access any information that I want at any time. In the 70s, when I was taking a test in school, I daydreamed that I had a watch on my wrist that gave me all the answers. Now we have them. COVID and the lockdown. It was something straight out of a Stephen King movie. After 32 years of marriage and 3 kids, finding out my husband has been seeing other women on the side for approximately 15 years. Never in a trillion years would I have thought this would happen to me. People who have had cancer. How did you first notice? I broke my femur on Christmas Eve last year. I went to an urgent care where they found a mass on my femur. They then referred me to another doctor who confirmed my stage for bone cancer. I have been fighting it for almost a year now, undergoing a knee and femur replacement, as well as 9 months of chemo. Blood pressure started spiking and I started breaking out. The doctors and I didn't know that the two were related until they sent me for a large tumor was found on my adrenal gland. What are some signs that your married friend doesn't have a good marriage? Never wants to go home, doesn't like bringing their spouse as +1. Speaking poorly of spouse. Future plans sound more I than we, and lack of excitement around the holidays. When my husband died, some friends admitted that they were a little jealous. They continually complain about their spouse in front of others or disparage them. Lesser-known symptom: working long hours habitually. I knew a guy that wasted tons of time in the office, but worked every night until 7:0 or 8:0 because he clearly hated his wife and daughters. Also works for people who spend all their time volunteering to get out of the house. They always complain about how busy they are, but they have no problem talking to you while working. What is a game you're positive no one knows or remembers? We played Zoominis in elementary school. I think it was a puzzle adventure game. I recall them being blobby things with long legs and on skates or something. Anyone remember the card Cane Skip Bow? We'd always play it after an O. Crystal DOS game. Jazz Jackrabbit, a computer game. Cool Borders snowboarding game. I like changing their outfits. Robotac robot or fighter jet? Yes, both at the same time. Polybius. Vigilante 8. TC Surf Designs Wood and Water Rage for NES. What is suspicious to own, but not illegal? As light into the cargo area of my station wagon, the most visible objects were a shovel, rope, gloves, and the giant tarp-wrapped bundle of yard refuse I was bringing to the town compost in the morning. Surely there was at least one roll of duct tape or Gorilla Tape back there? At least he had a sense of humor about it when he strolled up to my window, so we're off to bury the body under the cover of night, huh? A collection of other people's hair. Multiple padlocks on your basement door. Too many of any one innocuous item. You've got 10 citrus squeezers or 25 dusters. I'm going to be side-eyeing you. A closet grow tent for tomatoes. What is the stupidest thing someone has told you with complete conviction? She said, if you dream about falling and you hit the ground in your sleep, you'll actually die. It's been proven. I said, if you die in your sleep, how can anyone know what you were dreaming? Ruined a favorite story of hers? Sorry. A guy I work with said that a football referee runs over the distance of a marathon during a game. I pointed out that a football game was only 90 minutes long, and that the marathon record was just over 2 hours, so that would be impossible. He said it was possible because a football referee changes direction a lot during a game, and it all adds up. That the speed of light wasn't like an actual number, it was just a figure of speech. What was the first major news story you remember as a kid? The Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. OJ trial. I remember watching Princess Diana's funeral. I was about 6, I think. 9/11. COF. Moon landing. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I remember asking my dad, why is mom crying? It was because John Lennon got shot. Bay of Pigs. The first attack on the World Trade Center in 1993. Either that or the disastrous siege of the Branch Davidian cult compound in Waco, Texas. They both happened roughly around the same time. Definitely remember Steve Irwin dying. Shuttle explosion, baby Jessica. Probably the fall of the Berlin Wall. What's something that's illegal now, but used to be perfectly normal? Used to buy dynamite at the hardware store. My dad and I used it to remove stumps. Cigarette vending machines, no age restriction. Just drop couple of quarters in and pull the handle. Sending your kids to the store to buy cigarettes. Driving around without a. When I was a kid, it was common to find rear seatbelts weren't even fitted. My dad bought them separately and fitted them himself a couple of times. Smoking at HS had a smoking area for students. Dosing your baby with OTC laudanum so you can go out dancing all night. Or so my grandmother said. A couple of flappers overdosed their babies and they stopped selling laudanum in the drugstore. What's the worst piece of tech you've ever owned? HP printer. Just plain dystopian. Mandatory online account and internet connection to scan a paper when the printer is connected via a cable. Drives me mad. Printers, printers, printers. Even the best printers I've ever had have only worked acceptably. Amazon Fire Kids. What a complete piece of unintuitive, non-customizable, terrible UI garbage that thing was. A smart toaster. It was smart enough to burn it. That awful case management program that needed a network share to which all users had read-write access and which held all the private client information and repeatedly crashed. Mainly printers, though.